most violent society that history's ever created. I'm not committed to nonviolence in any way.
Man or woman who hates communism the most, that is to say, the man or woman who knows the least about communism, is the man or woman who wants to know the least about communism. That is to say, snakes are my enemies. They come to bite me, and I don't even want to know what they look like.
We're going to see about stopping, regardless of what these people think we should do. Because school is not important, and work is not important. Nothing's more important than stopping fascism, because fascism will stop us all.
Yo. Welcome to the Forest Podcast. Sorry for the absence. So I think we missed a day, didn't we? Are we still on schedule? Are we still doing
we're a few days late. It's been a little over a week.
It's not bad. It's not like some crazy shit has been happening. Welcome to the Forest Pod. It's me, Comrade Villain. I'm here with Comrade Lab, a.k.a.
Pretty bad.
That's what it was, Pretty Bad.
Was it Pretty Bad Comrade?
Pretty Bad Comrade.
Or Too Bad Comrade?
Well, you said Too Bad first, and then you said Pretty Bad.
Yeah.
I like that one better. But then you said another one.
Wait, which one you like better? Too Bad?
I like Pretty Bad better.
You like Pretty Bad?
Reminds me of Lil B.
Oh, wait. What was he? What did he go by?
He calls himself Pretty Bitch. I'm a pretty bitch. He says all the time.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Shout out to Lil B, Bass Guy.
Bass Guy. Thank you, Bass God. Make sure you got your mic close enough to you. Yeah. All right. So today we have to talk about this Epstein shit, of course. But before we do that, is there anything else popping up in the news that caught your interest globally, maybe? Because I'm going to speak a lot about tariffs in the second half of the show. So that really won't be, I guess that will be have some global focus. Because I do some global perspectives on that. But we're not going to have that history about another country, I don't think, in this episode. Is anything going on that you've seen?
There's always a lot of going on. I don't know if there's anything we really want to spend a lot of time on, but
Is anything I missed recently? South America,
there was the BRICS meeting
in
Brazil. Yes, that concluded.
I'm definitely going to mention that later whenever I talk about this tariff stuff.
Yeah. So that's probably the most major,
Anything
global.
come out of that meeting?
No, not anything significant, I don't think. I mean, they sort of just kind of reaffirmed a lot of the BRICS mission to continue to do trade amongst.
So we're still moving in this direction, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing trade in their own currencies. They want to really make sure that they're put in the new development bank. They want to really start to pour some more funding into that so that it's able to, provide infrastructure, loans to developing countries.
And the idea behind that is what the BRICS countries pull into that bank. So it's not like China going in to build infrastructure in these countries. It's like a pool of money doing it.
Yeah, I don't know all the logistics, but essentially it's supposed to be, an answer to the IMF. So it's supposed to be sort of like the BRICS version of the IMF, because the IMF is
The International Monetary Fund.
right, and
What is that? Is that just like a slush fund to keep markets stable or something? What is the IMF?
Well, I mean, the IMF historically has been a bank that's used to fund a lot of things, usually in developing countries. Like when developing countries are having trouble with their economy, they can go to the IMF and get a loan. But these loans are usually
okay. Gotcha.
have preconditions like
Right.
structural, the structural adjustment programs where they have to privatize their economy, et cetera.
Mm-hmm,
So a part of the loan is, if you guys want this loan, we need you guys to, gut your healthcare, cut your education, sell off your ports, your infrastructure, any state-owned enterprises. We want you to sell those off to foreign investors, et cetera. And of course, that makes it very difficult for these countries to develop. They get caught in these debt traps. Anyway, so
So the BRICS Bank, what was it called again?
the New Development
The
Bank.
New Development Bank is an alternative to that. They can ask them for a loan
Right.
without those kind of stipulations.
Exactly. That's
Got
the
it.
idea. So they really want to start moving forward with, because it's been around for a while. I mean, BRICS was founded initially in 2009, I believe, and I'm not sure if the bank was created at the same time. But my understanding is it really hasn't been able to do much. So they really want to get the ball rolling on that.
Gotcha. Okay. That's big. Okay. I hope that gets the ball rolling because again, this whole tariff talk. Essentially, I'm going to talk about like our role in the global economy and if maybe possibly we as a country are too big to fail, and BRICS and the U.S. dollar being like the underlying currency, the global currency, all that is tied into that. So the bank, like what you're just talking about, that type of alternative. And then also, what do you remember what they were going to call their currency? Like, isn't it like CIPS or something? I don't want to say KIPS.
Who?
The BRICS currency.
Oh, they haven't decided on a currency.
I know they're still talking. I don't know. I must have read something about that. But regardless, that's going to be crucial. All right. So let's talk about this Epstein shit.
All right.
What do you know about it?
I mean, what I know about in particular, what part of the Epstein shit?
All right.
It's a broad question.
So what do you think we should tell to our listeners? I'm going to assume most of them know about it. How much should we assume they know? Should I give like a quick 1 minute overview of the Epstein story?
Sure.
All right. Jeffrey Epstein. He started as like a teacher in Maine. No. Somewhere maybe in like New York, Connecticut, that area. Anyways, a math teacher. Wasn't good at it. Got fired for some reason. I think it's probably sexual misconduct. He is friends with somebody at Bear Stearns, I want to say, one of those large investment banks. That guy convinces his boss that Jeff Epstein is a genius with numbers. We should bring him in to invest, play with money, yada, yada. He's never done that before. He's not even a good math teacher. He gets his job. He starts investing money, making money. He gets the guy that owner founded Victoria's Secret. I can't remember his name, Lex Lee or something like that. He gave Jeffrey Epstein control of all of his money. It's like, I don't know, $500 billion or some ridiculous amount. It's a thing that you don't do as a billionaire. You don't be like, hey, one guy, take care of all my money, especially this guy who has no financial background. So I say all that to say, it seems like it's weird, right, that he keeps getting these positions. All right, Jeffrey Epstein gets caught in South Florida. What was it, like early 2000s? Can't remember exactly. Gets caught in South Florida for getting young girls and runaways from South Florida to come over to his mansion, I want to say in Palm Beach, give him massages and then like jerk him off or like do other sex shit. But they're underage girls because he's into underage girls. So he gets caught for that, gets busted. Alex Acosta is the prosecutor, gives him what they call a sweetheart deal, like the best sweetheart deal everyone's ever seen. He ends up doing like, I don't even know if it was a year. I think it was less than a year in a wing of a prison that he bought for the sheriff's department. So he had like free reign and he was able to like essentially come and go as he pleased. So he didn't actually have to stay in prison. So anyways, he had like no punishment for this. Then again, fast forward, starts doing the same thing on an island, buys an island, figures it's easier, probably won't get caught doing it there. Buys a plane, calls it the Lolita Express. Sidebar, do you know what that's about, Brett? Do you know what Lolita is?
No, not really.
There's a book called Lolita, and Stanley Kubrick, I think, made a movie about it too, about the book. But the book is about like a guy who is a pedophile who's in love with like a 15-year-old girl, and like the book is about like him justifying it, like, rationalize it to himself, like it's okay, essentially. That's what he named his fucking plane. It's wild. Anyways, starts flying people to his fucking island, doing sex shit there. Prince Andrew comes out. One of the girls that's been getting abused comes out, says Prince Andrew did it. There's pictures of her and Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew has this big scandal. The royal family disowns. Anyways, that's a huge, powerful person in the world that's caught up in this bullshit. The assumption is he was videotaping people or something, had blackmail on people because of he liked young girls, and probably a bunch of other powerful dudes do too. And that's how he was able to get these jobs, get all this money. He has like a ridiculous amount of money. The reason people found out about him is like Trump. He's new money, and not Trump is, but Jeffrey Epstein is. He wanted people to know about him. He did this spread in Architectural Digest because he bought like the biggest house in Manhattan. And that article, like the journalist was like, wait a minute, how do you have all this money? And then that's what started them like, what's going on with this fucking guy? Anyways, say all that to say, he gets caught again. I don't even know how that happened. Goes to jail in the MCU, not the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Manhattan, not the Major Crimes Unit, that's Law and Order. Anyways, it's like this prison in New York, federal prison. All this shit is about him. There's all these conspiracies, like Pizzagate, all this shit gets tied up in him. All these motherfuckers, like Hillary Clinton is like killing babies, all this pedophile shit. It's all tied up into Epstein. And for some reason, they put him in this little cell that's like around the corner from the camera. The other cameras don't work. He's on suicide watch. There's 2 guards. They like go to sleep or they're gone or some shit. And then he suicides himself, killed himself. Pam Bondi recently released a tape about this shit. And it's supposed to show that this is exactly what happened. He killed himself. And it's just a video of the hallway, like around the corner. And then there's like a minute missing for some reason. And then she's like, oh, that happens because this security system's from 1999 and it records on VHS tapes in the same minute. Should be missing from every tape. We're going to look into that. All of this shit is super fucking sketchy, suspicious. So, say all that to say, Donald Trump is this fucking douchebag's best friend. Like, there's a bunch of videos of him with Jeffrey Epstein talking about young girls. For some reason, his MAGA base, the right wing, this is the part that's interesting to me. The Joe Rogans of the world, the fucking Theo Vaughns of the world, the fucking flagrant guy, what's his name? Schultz. Andrew Schultz's of the world. All these people are like, this conspiracy pedophile. They have a, right wingers have a weird thing for pedophiles. Hard on. I don't get it. I don't like pedophiles, but like, they're like obsessed. Anyways, this was their thing, bro. And then now Trump has been campaigning on JD Vance whenever he was on Theo's show. Not, I would say when he was running for the campaign or running for the last election, he was on Theo Vaughn's show. And he said, we should release the Epstein files. The Trump administration now and the MAGA base in general, this old media sphere, is run on this Epstein shit. And like once they get power, they're going to expose the deep state. This isn't even going into QAnon. QAnon's this whole fucking this times 10. But like, not even just the QAnon. This is like important to your regular guy on the right wing. Mm-hmm. And now that they have power to do something, they're not doing it. They're not releasing anything. At first, the play was we're going to invite all these right-wing media people over to the White House, and they gave them binders, like, here's the fucking files. And they were just files of stuff that was already known with redacted stuff. So it had nothing new in it. So, like, what the fuck is this? They were pissed off about that. Pam Bondi said she had the list on her desk, which I'm guessing is the client list, which, again, nobody's really clear about what the fucking list is. And then she's like, oh, no, I didn't. I said something, you took it out of context. Anyways, Trump interrupted a question asked to Pam Bondi at one of their little roundtable meetings with the press, with his cabinet. And he's like, people are still talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Cameron, we're talking about this. He wants to move on from it. I don't see how these motherfuckers are going to just drop this. This isn't just like this is like a serious thing to them. Yeah. So I'm interested in how that part plays out. But like okay, one last wrinkle. Wall Street Journal, right-wing media outlet, super capitalist, super conservative Republican. Owned by Rupert Murdoch. Runs Fox News. Put out this article the other day, which was a leaked file. Because here's the thing. They're saying Trump's trying to move on for this because his name's all through the fucking Epstein files because he was best friends with this fucking guy. He sent him a birthday card, and it said some really weird shit. It said some shit like, enigmas never age. This every day is our little secret. Like, what the fuck, bro? That's like the weirdest fucking shit. Anyways, so this is where we're at now. And I don't know how the right wing, how the Joe Rogans of the world are going to process this. It seems like Alex Jones, I don't know if you saw him the other day. He was fucking like, he said he wanted to go throw up because the Trump administration is now compromised. This is what I've noticed so far. Wait, what are you reading?
No, I'm just laughing at Alex Jones saying he wants to throw up.
Dude, yeah. But here's what I've noticed. He was the one that made me notice it. He didn't say Trump. None of these people are saying Trump. I think they're wanting Pam Bondi to take the fall for this, which I don't know what this is. Fall for what? For not releasing the files that he's in? I don't understand why they're like pretending he ain't in this shit. And then they also keep talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, here's the part that I think is super interesting. Do you know about Epstein's ties to Israel?
Loosely.
Okay.
I know people think he's like has connections to Mossad and all that.
Okay, so you knew more than me because I had never heard about this. I watched the whole Netflix Jeffrey Epstein documentary. I don't think they mentioned that shit at all. But regardless, this is what the talking point is now, specifically from the Candace Owens, from the Tucker Carlsons of the world, who are on this anti-Israel shit, which I'm like, cool. But Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was an agent from Mossad, I guess, is what they're saying. And then, I don't know, they're saying he rubbed wrong people the wrong way and they killed him on his yacht or some shit when she was a kid. So she knows what will happen to her. And maybe not when she was a kid, but killed him, whatever. She knows what happened to her. I've also heard that he was the one that taught Jeffrey Epstein how to blackmail people, as if you need to be.
She taught him?
Yeah, or someone tied to her dad taught him because she was his connection to Mossad. Like he needed Mossad to teach him what Diddy does. Like I think this man was a pedophile from the very beginning and has been conning his way up the ranks by finding other pedophiles and then blackmailing them. I don't think that was like a fucking strategy. And then, but anyways, yeah, there's this whole idea that Israel's been using him for slush funds, I guess, to move money around, maybe get him to blackmail somebody to use that political influence. This is what I don't understand. To do what? They're genociding the people. What do they need from Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, I mean, all this is well before the genocide started.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. You knew a lot more than I knew. I mean, I just basically the extent of my knowledge was, Jeffrey Epstein, like young girls. There was some confusion about how he got money, how he became so wealthy and influential, and eventually he got caught. I knew about him being caught in Florida.
And Alex Acosta, the guy that prosecuted him, he appointed as his labor secretary in his first administration as a thank you. But
wait, he was appointed as a labor secretary by who?
Trump.
Oh, really?
He was for like 6 to 12 months.
Okay.
Until, I don't know, I guess the news cycle broke and people realized, wait a minute, this is what happened. And then the Epstein stories shit started coming back up. So he's like, nah, you got to get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So
okay. So I knew all that. Well, I just knew that he got arrested, and then he got out, and I knew that it was like how did he get out so quickly? That's all I knew about that. And then what was weird is people just still fucked with him. He's still doing all this business and flying around. Bro, if I know that this person is going to jail for messing with young girls, how are you still this influential?
I was talking to my brother Van about this yesterday, and he was like, rich people don't police themselves. Why wouldn't they be exactly what you just said?
Yeah.
This dude's a fucking pedophile.
Yeah.
Let's don't do business or associate with him and his what? network and power structure and why? Pedophile shit? I don't think they care, bro. Some of them probably into it.
Yeah, perhaps.
Ghislaine, his right-hand woman, she was always like, oh, Europeans, they got it figured out. You can like, essentially, like, you can fuck like 17-year-olds or whatever. Like, I think that's cool. I don't know, man. It's really weird.
Isn't there like some like ancient Greek shit that went through like fucking little boys and all that
That's
shit?
okay. That's little boys. Yeah, that is ancient Greek shit. Before, I haven't heard anything about boys. This is Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump have a specific thing. Like, usually pedophiles have like a thing, bro. And like theirs is like 16, 17, maybe 15-year-old girls.
Yeah.
That's their thing. And like,
So, but that's a European thing.
that's what Ghislaine Maxwell, he said to justify it, like why it's okay that they did it the first time. But okay, so when you said like why the rich people still, she's out there saying shit like that, and they're like, oh, well, you know, maybe it's a European thing. Let's still do business with this guy, or I don't know, he's still useful. If the Mossad shit is true,
yeah,
I know
mean,
the KSB's probably approached this guy. I know
Who?
the CIA, every fucking intelligence agency in the world.
yeah.
If he's running some kind of fucking pedophile blackmail operation,
Yeah.
they're all going to be like, yo, let me get in on this.
And also, like, if he's already doing it at that point, by the time he's arrested, like, you already got people blackmailed at that point. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know.
And so essentially they're just saying, let me in on the shit you already have or we'll expose you.
Well, I'm saying why people would keep doing business with them.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah.
It's like, probably a lot of people are already caught up. So it's like, well,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Because
too
the
late.
tentacles are deep.
Yeah.
But this is, okay. So this is interesting. So let's go to this. The client list. This is like a sticker. People want this fucking list. They want, or they just want, they say the Epstein files. I'm not sure what they mean. I'm assuming that means like the DOJ's investigation on Epstein. What do they mean, the Epstein files?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Do they expect the DOJ just to release the shit like that? I'm pretty sure the DOJ don't do that, regardless, period. What I'm interested in is like the client list, which apparently, I don't know, everything I've seen says maybe there is no client list, but like the dude on an island. The dude on like the most expensive Manhattan had the Palm Beach, man. The dude was ridiculously
Didn't they have like
wealthy.
flight logs and stuff though that they released already?
Yeah, they have flight logs. And like, I'm not, honestly, this is another thing. Okay. He was into science. It was like, I think he was like an ego thing. Maybe he wanted to feel smarter than other people. But as we saw with the Titan sub guy, these people were fucking idiots. He brought like Stephen Hawking and Bill Gates and like all these fucking science guys to his island. They flew them in on the Lolita Express, but like they came to the same place where that shit was happening. Doesn't mean it was happening all the time. It doesn't mean everybody that came there. Chris Tucker was on the Lolita Express.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to believe Chris Tucker would do that. Bill Clinton, definitely. He was on the same flight as them. That doesn't look good for Chris Tucker. Don't like that.
Yeah.
But just because you associate with this fool doesn't mean it. I want to know, like the Victoria's Secret guy. I want to know who just said, hey, you can control my money now. Because the only reason I could think of you would do that is like, this guy's got some fucking dirty shit on me. Right?
Right.
So who are those people?
Yeah.
How many other Prince Andrews are caught up in this shit? But we're never going to know that. So that's okay. So we're not going to get that. Well, this is like they talked themselves into a corner, bro. As soon as they get power, they're going to expose the deep state. Here we go. This is like the rubber meets the road. This is why it's so interesting. So that's what I've seen so far. Joe Rogan, I haven't heard him really say anything. Flagrant guy, Andrew Schultz. He wants to talk about it, but he does not want to talk about Trump specifically.
Why are you saying flagrant?
'Cause that's the name of his podcast, Flagrant.
Oh,
too.
okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why he's fucking relevant. Apparently it's a popular ass podcast. But he wanted to talk about Epstein, but not Trump. So I'm trying to see how they're going to spin this. So it seems like he put a lot of it on Pam Bondi, but he's still like, something's got to happen. So I feel like he's got in a holding pattern. Joe Rogan ain't said shit. I don't think Theo has said shit. This other guy, Tim Dillon, you know this guy?
Yeah, I've seen clips from him. He's funny to me.
This guy. I don't know. Okay, maybe this was a bit, but it seemed like he was serious. He's like, I met with somebody in Washington, D.C. Not going to say who it was. They told me whenever Pam Bondi was like this, hundreds of thousands of hours of videos or whatever amount she said, he was like, turns out that's just like regular porn searches. It was just like regular porn, not even no child porn, no Bill Clinton, no Trump, not caught up in it. And then he said the other thing about they don't want to re-victimize the victims type shit. So, all right. I don't know if he was joking, but it sounded like what Kash Patel is saying, what Dan Bushner or whatever. Bongino. Those two are the fucking worst because they were on it about the Epstein shit more than anyone. So they immediately turned. But I get it. They're part of the administration. I'm more interested in how the media tries to spin this, their little media sphere. So it seemed like he was just getting in line. And there's this other guy that Dante watches, my brother Van. I can't remember the name, but his whole strategy was like essentially just talk about something else. They just wouldn't talk about it. But like they can't. There's no way, bro. They're just gonna let this go. The Pizzagate thing. They were up in a pizza parlor and fucking shot that shit up for no fucking reason. They're in too deep to just let this shit go.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are definitely going to try to let it go.
They want to so bad, but like the mental gymnastics, that's what I'm curious. How you square that circle?
Yeah, it's not going to, I don't think it's going to be let go. They're going to, some of them are going to try. Some of them, I think, are too, bought into it. And
but are they going to let go of the Trump part? Because this is what I've seen so far. None of them will address it. Joe Rogan's like, damn, that birthday card's fucking weird, right? Man, that clip of Trump whenever he's talking about he likes them younger. Like, they don't,
so
none
to
of
be
them.
Fair, the birthday card, I don't even believe the birthday card, honestly.
Okay.
But I think that doesn't sound like Trump to me.
It doesn't?
Nah, it really doesn't. I just don't think.
What about the other ones? Like, Jeffrey, was it? He likes his women and he really likes them young or some shit. You know what I'm talking about?
What's that from?
Donald Trump. This man has multiple quotes that are really weird about young women.
Oh, well, I mean, we've heard some of those. When he was on Howard Stern.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So you believe in the Epstein files. Why aren't they saying, man, he wants us to forget about this. He wants us to move on. Yeah. There's all of these videos of him saying weird shit about young girls. They're not talking about that at all. They're trying to pretend like it don't exist.
No.
Do they just let that go? They have to, right?
I mean,
their brain does not compute.
I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know. Like people like I haven't heard like people like Candace Owens what they're saying. I mean, from what I could tell, the ones who are like not letting the Epstein thing go, and you kind of I think mentioned this, they are trying to like absolve Trump, like saying that it's his administration. They're trying to put the blame on other people,
Pam Bondi,
or they're like speculating that Trump doesn't want to release it because other people in his administration might be in the files.
Israel's pulling the strings. That's what Candace and Tucker are saying.
That one too. So there's like it's really it is strange like why they don't think Trump is implicated.
Bro, there's a lot of evidence. Shit he says about his own daughter on TV.
Yeah. It's it's really remarkable how they're able to.
I can get it up until you get to the point where he's like, okay, time for these Epstein files. And he's like, never mind, forget about that. That shit was all fake. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Right. I was forgetting all the weird shit you did because I thought you were going to expose the pedophiles. We were going to like give you the benefit of the doubt. Can they keep doing that? But they have to. Like, they're bought in. So Joe Rogan, he had some Democrat from North Austin on, I don't know, a couple of days ago as this is coming out, and he wants to talk about religion for the whole podcast. So I think Joe Rogan has been saying, this is not what they said. Trump said he was going to get the murder and rapists out. I didn't know he was going to be raiding the Home Depot. He lied to us. He just acts like, I can't believe it. So maybe I'm going to go back to Democrats now. That's kind of where he's at, which is just fucking fucked up. But he's so influential, bro. But that's where, so like, this is what I'm curious. Because again, the message permeates. And like, which one of these messages is going to be, where are they going to latch onto?
Right.
Yeah, I just don't see a way out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not going to go anywhere. He's not going to be able to bury it. And the Democrats are going to just love to bring it up now whenever they can.
So if they had any backbone, they would fucking use it to shut down Congress for the rest of this shit. Constantly force it to a floor vote. Every one of them do it. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The optics, like, you can't lose.
Yeah, they got the upper hand on this. So like, if they're smart, they'll hammer it as much as they can. I don't know if they will.
I don't think they want to.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to hurt the Republican Party like that. I think they're trying to be cool with them still.
Because we know Bill's in there too.
Oh yeah, 1,000% Bill's in there.
And I saw some people out tweeting like something about how the left, they always talk about the left being like people
Democrats.
Democrats. Oh, they don't want they really don't want to release the files because Bill's probably in there too. And like a lot of people on Twitter, like we don't give a fuck about Bill. I haven't even
heard a Democrat say that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So like even the liberal non-left, it's like, yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah.
If he's in there, we can go too.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. It's something interesting to watch. But yeah, he's floundering. You see, so now, all right. Remember when you were trying to defend Tulsi Gabbard at the beginning of this administration?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Trying to defend her for what? I wasn't trying to defend Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah. I was like, nah, bro, she's compromised. And then I tried to look on PragerU, and all her talks on PragerU were just about isolationism, which is I was okay with when it comes to like war stuff. And I was like, this bitch, there's no way. So you saw what she's doing now.
Wait, hold on.
The director of national intelligence is saying Obama committed treason. We need to fucking arrest him.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean I was trying to... Well, what was I defending Tulsi Gabbard about?
I was saying... You were saying Tulsi Gabbard and RFK may end up being, like, I don't know, a net positive or like a good thing. And I was saying, no, they won't. Because you were saying, like, their economic policies are still, I don't know, not super right-wing conservative. And I don't know if that's true.
No, that wasn't what we were discussing.
And I couldn't find anything of her saying anything right-wing or libertarian. And that's why I looked on the PragerU shit. I was like, no, they've become libertarians. And you're like, nah, they haven't. Maybe they haven't. But they're completely bought in to MAGA.
Yeah. I mean, our discussion, the only thing that I was taking, I wasn't defending them. You were calling them like libertarians. And I was just saying they're not libertarians. They're not ideological libertarians. Are just opportunists. That's what I was saying. I wasn't defending them.
Oh, you were saying they were opportunists, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought you were saying they're like center left economically. I don't believe they have positions.
Yeah, I mean, I think RFK
they were hates vaccines.
No, I think they were center left.
That's his position.
I think ideologically they were center left, but I think they're also like not committed to those like values. So it's like an opportunity arose and they took it.
So can you be ideologically something and not committed to it?
Sure. I mean, I think they honestly believed that a more center left platform is probably better for America, but what's good for their checks, for their pocketbooks right now? It's riding with Trump. That's what they did. They did that. It was their own. It was what
I guess that's
in
what
their
I'm
own
asking. Can you
self-interest.
be a sellout like that and also believe in the other thing?
Yeah, I think you can.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean that. Like I said,
Do
they
as I
don't-
say, not as I do.
yeah. I don't think, like I said, they weren't principled.
In an ideal world, this is what I want. But now I got to make up some crazy story about Obama. And Trump's posting an AI video of Obama getting arrested in the White House. You saw that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. This is how he's floundering, trying to fucking get people to talk about something else. He released the MLK files. You saw that?
Yeah, and they're
Have you seen that? What's in those?
I don't know. It's like 240,000 pages or something.
Jesus Christ. I thought it was against the family's wishes.
Yeah, because I think there's some stuff in there that paints MLK in a bad light.
Yeah, probably like the extramarital affairs type stuff.
Yeah, that's I'm sure. So no, I haven't seen much about the MLK files because nobody's taking the bait. Everybody's like, release Epstein.
Well, give us. There's nothing. He's not giving us anything. Give me the JFK files that the CIA did it. Maybe talk about that for a minute. Do those exist? Do alien files at Area 51 exist? Now would be a great time to drop it on us. We will stop talking about Epstein. I promise you. I'll talk about aliens all fucking day. I'll forget all about Epstein. I feel like he's digging. He's got to be digging in his bag, bro. So what I'm going to talk about in the second half, after we're about to take this break real quick, is tariffs. Because this is his latest distraction. I'll send it to you right now. Check your signal there. But his latest distraction, he posted this on True Social. We just completed a massive deal with Japan. Perhaps the largest deal ever made. Perhaps. Impossible to know. Japan will invest, at my direction, $550 billion into the United States, which will receive 90% of the profits. This deal will create hundreds of thousands of jobs. There's never been anything like it. Perhaps most importantly, Japan will open their country to trade, including cars and trucks. Rice. They're going to buy our rice. And they're going to take our big-ass trucks and cars on their little bitty roads. Yeah, sure. And certain other agricultural products and other things. Japan will pay reciprocal tariffs to the United States of 15%. I'm going to explain what that is. This is a very exciting time for USA, especially for the fact that we will continue to always have a great relationship with the country of Japan. Thank you for your attention to this matter. We still haven't figured out what the fuck that's about, bro. I feel like thank you for the attention to this matter has to be some kind of does that make it a legal memo? So he's acting as president, so he can't be prosecuted for anything he says? Why does he keep doing this?
I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know. I think it sounds official. I don't know.
No fucking way that's the answer.
Look, man, don't try to look for explanations with Trump. I
didn't get that. Could you try
I said
again?
Google, don't try to look for explanations with Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's anything too deep. It's
I don't know. That's weird. Anyways, so the next distraction is we have this huge deal with Japan, which, far as I looked this up at 10:39 p.m. tonight, the same day, he announced this 4:12 p.m. Japan doesn't say shit about this, so maybe. There's no details about this either. So I'm going to talk about this here in a minute. Anything else you want to talk about this Epstein shit before we take a break?
No.
All right. Say a quick break. And we back. All right. I'm going to try to speed through this. And this is essentially what I want to try as I don't know, it's almost like a test. Let me zoom in real quick. Fuck. Whatever. I had this conversation with ChatGPT. I'm gonna put all my AI things aside because I want to get Flo over here. Flo, I told you about Flo. He's been spending last year or two working with AI, and I have a bunch of questions. This is not a complaint. What I want to do is read this conversation I had with ChatGPT and analyze it with you. Try not to do the whole thing, but just the main things. Anyways, starting with that tweet, I said that truth post The truth. They call it truths? Anyways, starting with that post. What does this mean? How will America get 90% of the profits? What does he mean Japan will pay 15% of reciprocal tariffs? Do you have any idea what he means by that?
No.
So ChatGPT says, this isn't standard way trade agreements are described. Trade deals don't normally split profits like a business venture. It sounds like he's claiming the U.S. will benefit disproportionately from Japanese investment, but there is no detail on how. Either this is rhetorical exaggeration or refers to a specific joint venture, blah, 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 blah. Japan will pay reciprocal tariffs of 15% tariffs on taxes on imports. Here, he's suggesting Japan will agree to impose 15% tariffs on U.S. goods, matching what the U.S. presumably charges on Japanese goods. Reciprocal. That's the reciprocal part. However, in trade agreements, the goal is usually to lower tariffs, not raise them. If true, this might mean Japan agreed to new import taxes on American products, but more likely, this is either misworded or intentionally presented as a win. And then the $550 billion investment, that's an enormous sum, larger than Japan's annual export to the United States. This is almost certainly exaggerated. Could refer to a long-term investment? Maybe. There's no details about it. So I'm like, okay. First, this is what I said. First, find the deal. He said we just completed the deal. He said that in a post. Go find the deal. Couldn't find the deal. I was like, is it publicly documented? Aren't these trade deals publicly can we look at our trade deals? Yes, they are. There's no document. So I was like, all right. Recently, he announced that trade deal with the UK. Remember that? Like, I don't know, a month ago. Mm-hmm. How long did it take before that was actually, like, we actually saw it? And then what was it? Like, did it match up with what he said it would be? It took like a month or two, and it wasn't just one deal, it was like 5. And he made very vague statements when he said we have a deal with the UK. He made no specific, I don't know, not predictions, but he gave no specific numbers, like the $550 billion, 90% profits, 15. So he hasn't done that before. So I couldn't compare that because I wanted to see, is he lying this time like he was last time? Who knows? Last time he never said shit. It was just general. So from there, I moved on to find me the actual post. And he's like, I gotta read some of it. The agreement with the UK is a full and comprehensive one that will cement the relationship between the US and UK for many years to come. This should be a very big and exciting day for the US and the UK. The golden age of America is coming. Big news conference tomorrow. Oval Office concerning a major trade deal. So he never said anything about the specifics. So from there, I was like, all right, have there been any other trade deals made since Liberation Day? That's when he put on the tariffs. So I want to try, is there any other fucking examples where he said specifically what the deal was and then it turned out to not be that? We've made a couple. Vietnam, we made a deal with them. China's was just like a pause. We're still trying to figure that deal out. Indonesia, we made a deal with them. The Philippines, that one just got announced today. Essentially, that's it. And then I was like, okay, I want to compare before Liberation Day, after Liberation Day, where are we at? Was this worth it? Was Trump's art of the deal successful? So Indonesia specifically, pre-Liberation Day, Indonesia to U.S. tariffs were about 8% MFN average, which apparently is, I can't remember I have it written here, but it's the agreed upon like global free trade percentage. If you are a nation in good standing, you just charge around 8%. It's like the fair rate. After the trade deal from Indonesia to the U.S., it's 19% tariffs. So we're paying a lot more for the imports. So after the trade deal, U.S. companies and whoever that imports goods from Indonesia is paying a lot more. And then that price gets passed on to us. So we're paying more, yeah.
More than twice as much. Right. You said it was 8%. Now it's what? 19?
19. But this is where ChatGPT fucks with me. It said 19% actual rate. Then from US to Indonesia, before it was 3.3%. Now it's 0% on 99% of US goods. Why would they frame it like that? I looked into that too, and it's like there's still a carve out for essentially most of the things, which is the 1%. So they are still tariff, but it sounds much better. But regardless, the whole point of this is supposedly to like build your industries and protectionism and that type of deal. So from there, I was like, let's explain the reciprocal tariff part. So before Liberation Day, countries that we already had tariffs on, were they paying reciprocal tariffs at that time? 2, when he says another country will pay a reciprocal tariff, what does that mean? So before Liberation Day, no, they weren't, because the reciprocal tariff is, you use that word because he's assuming the trade imbalances, like if their tariffs, the percentage wise on us, like on the whole, not industry specific, like China add all their tariffs up, they're 19%, ours are 5%. Oh, that's a fucking problem. So what we need to do is reciprocal tariffs to match theirs, which means they're now paying us a lot more. That's why in that post it says Japan will pay 15% reciprocal tariffs. This man thinks that the countries pay the tariffs. I'm like, there's no way. He must be speaking like a metaphor, or I don't know. So I asked it. I was like, is this really how he thinks? ChatGPT says, this comes from his mercantilist view of trade, where he frames the U.S. as a customer paying foreign nations for goods and see tariffs as a way to make them pay us back. In his mind, they sell to us equals they owe us. He envisions foreign governments or companies essentially writing checks to the U.S. Treasury. He sees tariffs as a way to force these countries to hand over money directly, almost like an entry fee, almost like, I don't know, like a mob protection racket or some shit. I also asked it about his obsession with China and is there a tie there? And ChatGPT says yes, because his idea that China is using currency manipulation, like keeping the value of their currency low to export goods at a cheaper rate to undercut American businesses. Essentially, that is mercantilism, kind of. What do you know about mercantilism, real quick, before I go into this part? Do you know what that is?
I mean, I know that it's kind of used as a pejorative thing, that you know, we've kind of talked about this before, but they say like China is over capacity, that it's producing or dumping. You might hear that word sometimes, that it's
Flooding markets.
yeah. So that's mercantilism kind of falls into that category.
So, yes. So the idea behind it historically is that exports are good because they give you gold and silver. You sell shit and you get gold and silver from the rest of the world. Imports are bad because they take your gold and silver and give it to the rest of the world. You want to hoard gold and silver. This is like a fucking feudalism era. This is like mercantilism, very early industrialism. Trump, he speaks as though the foreign government pays for the access, almost like a licensing fee or a licensing deal, or like, I don't know, like they're paying for the cost of doing business with us. When in reality, sometimes they do lower the cost of the price of their goods that they're selling to us to try to keep the prices low for the consumer, so we keep buying it. But it usually still ends up costing us more. And American businessmen, companies pay that, not China. China is not giving no check to sell us shit. And like, I was like, why can't he grasp this? Is this like a metaphor? Is this like is there a school of business philosophy that explains this? And it comes down to, all right, I'm gonna read this part. I said, every time, when you say, talking to ChatGPT, when you ChatGPT say, every time a Chinese company sells goods to America and pays the tariff, you're assuming Chinese company or Chinese state pays the tariff, when actually the American importer and then indirectly American consumer pays it. So for number one, to make sense, I'm talking about what he just said. Don't worry about that. You'd also have to blatantly ignore that to make it make sense. He does. Because if he acknowledges that fact, then the rest of this mercantilist attitude of like we need to hoard gold and silver and it's a zero-sum game, and we haven't, not us, the United States of America hasn't built up a global free trade. The whole global free trade market, like problems with NAFTA, whatever, it's definitely problems. It's literally the opposite of mercantilism. So he's like trying to lay that on top of it. And you can't do that or like say that this is a good idea without also believing that those countries pay it. Because the whole idea is to keep the money here, but in reality, we're paying it. So all of that. Before I move on to this last little part, is there anything you're curious about, or anything I've said that doesn't make sense to you?
No, I mean, it makes sense mostly.
So I then came to, I don't know, this part of the conversation with ChatGPT where I was like, I don't know, it kind of just dawned on me. Is America essentially what Lehman Brothers was in 2008? If no other country is willing to be the consumer of the world, all these other countries, like China, the ones that Trump has a problem with, the reason he's doing this, they do all have a surplus. Their economies were built from an export surplus. They export more than they import.
Right.
We're not. We're the only country that like has gone hard into debt. And because I guess we're so wealthy, which if we're in debt, is it really, well, I don't know. We're the only country that like is bought into the consumer culture. And if we collapse, there's no other country that will step in. I've always said maybe Brazil, maybe India, they got a billion people. They don't want to do this either. So what they are looking at right now is propping up America by buying U.S. Treasury bonds. And it's almost like we are too big to fail. They would rather bail us out and keep up this, I don't know, this facade, hoping that Trump will, I don't know, go away, and then next regime will go back to the way it was before. But worst case scenario, if they have to switch, like to maybe BRICS, if they're going to be the ones that replace the US dollar and the world currency reserve, which also is a big problem. I guess the other big problem is what we would talk about with military. We police the global shipping routes of the world. So without that, with all of those variables in the air, it's almost impossible to remake what we have now. We can't just like switch China in, essentially is what I'm trying to say. So
yeah, I mean, I think the major thing is with like the countries like BRICS and all that. I mean, they are obviously invested somewhat in the American economy existing, right? It's a large economy. It's got a large consumer base. They buy a lot of products. BRICS, I think, understands that this is supposed to be a sort of transition over many years, decades even. And the Trump administration basically is trying to find a way to either stop or reverse this process. I mean, nobody wants it to happen overnight, because that'd be destabilizing to the global economy.
And we are not going to have more leverage than we do right now.
Right.
Because again, like they need to keep us going for a little bit longer. So because the options are, let us collapse now and they have to go through a very painful transition now, or prop us up. Maybe the next administration is full fascist, keeps doing all the Trump shit, and then they have to go through the pain later. They'd rather just prop it up. Hopefully that don't happen. I think that's their play. Because I'm wondering, what the fuck? How are we not seeing like crazy, I don't know, ripples throughout the global economy? Like this is what he's done is insane.
Yeah.
And I was like, is it just the economy is that not reliable, like flexible, durable, resilient? Our global market, but like, how can they be? They're all betting on something. I don't know. It just seems like there's going to be a painful transition regardless. Everybody knows that, but nobody knows how they want to bet right now. At least the rest of the world. That's why like all the non-aligned countries that you're talking about, or countries that want to stay non-aligned.
Right.
One option, apparently ChatGPT, is this shit breaks up. We have, instead of like a bipolar world, we just have like, I don't know, there's like a Euro-Asia market, and then there's like, I don't know, there'd be like 4 major sections instead of like one global one we have now. I just don't see how this can continue.
What in particular? What Trump's doing, or
no, just America. Like this the iPhone is made in 30 different countries, bro. You got tariffs on the whole world. This isn't just like you build the iPhone in America problem. You can't. What he thinks is not a real thing. So even if the rest of the world wanted to, there's no other country that wants to step up and be us and be the consumers of the world and take on all that debt, either cultural wise, because the culture is like a saving culture. Like honestly, what we used to be until Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is like no country wants to do that because I mean, it requires that for us to, the way that we became, this major trade deficit country is we deindustrialized. We got rid of our industry.
Right. Which is what Trump is saying he's trying to reverse.
Right. But for another country to do what we do, they would have to deindustrialize and become a country that just consumes. And then their currency would have to be, I mean, that's why our currency is the reserve currency. Is we buy so much from other countries, we buy with dollars. Mm-hmm. That gives them the dollars that they need, which they in turn use those dollar reserves to buy treasury bonds.
And that essentially, which ChatGPT pointed out, that's essentially them loaning us money to keep buying their shit.
Exactly.
To keep the money flowing.
Yeah. So that's why no other country would want to do that.
Yes.
It's because it's dependent on you, and so deindustrializing your country. You have to, and this was the idea. Like even Keynes, John Maynard Keynes,
Keynesian economics.
He wanted to create, I forget what you call it, but he wanted to create like a reserve currency that wasn't, attached to a nation state. It was called the Bancor.
Okay.
Because
sound like a Bitcoiner.
The understanding was, even at the time, they realized that this setup was going to give,
leverage,
a lot of leverage to the United States government. Mm-hmm. So, but the trade-off to that was obviously we decided that we were going to deindustrialize our economy, and we financialized our economy to make up for that.
The trade-off, yes, was doing that to become like the crucial, the keystone piece in this shit that props it up. Like the agreement almost was when we built the global economy is we're going to be the consumers of the world. And then now for Trump to be like, I want to do what y'all are doing, and I want us to have more exports. That breaks the whole system.
Right.
Bro, no one else wanted to do this. They built their whole system on under the idea that we were going to do this. So I don't this can't continue.
Yeah, but the thing is, no, it can't continue and it won't continue.
Why can't the idea of Lee, what was his name, Boogeyman, Lee Atwater, and whatever that happened during Reaganomics, why can't that idea spread in Bolsonaro's Brazil? Why not?
You lost me.
So the argument is Brazil and India, these other super large countries, because that's the thing, I guess. America is almost 400 million people, share the same language. We're rich, but we're in a lot of debt and we consume a lot. No other country wants to do that. Why not? Why not Brazil be like, shit, we'll do that. We'll go into debt. We'll become the new America, the new empire. There's no one other country that wants to be the empire of the world.
No, I mean that's what I was just explaining though. In order to do that, you have to get rid of your industry.
Yeah, it's the trade-off.
Yeah, and what?
So the rest of the world is like
these are developing
idiots.
countries.
Mm-hmm.
They need industry. They need to make things. They need to export things.
Unless you're I don't know, what are those islands where they do all the shell companies? You can be a financial company or country like we were. Why not? They could make the same mistake. I want to say call it a mistake, but I don't. Is it a culture thing? Is what I'm trying to get at.
No. It was just.
Why can't the idea take hold? Like Japan has a Japan First Party.
The United
right
States
now.
was at a unique position in history to take over as an empire. We fell into it, basically. It was almost accidental.
Post World War II.
Post World War II and all that. Yeah. That's the only reason it happened the way that it happened. And no other country would want to even. I mean, that's why this whole fear mongering about China wanting to be the world empire. China doesn't even want to do that. They have no history of wanting to do that. Like people are saying, "Oh, is yuan going to be the reserve currency?" China doesn't want the yuan to be the reserve currency.
Nope.
They want to increase their own domestic consumption, and they want to continue to move up the value chain and export, advanced technologies and all that. So it wouldn't make sense for them. In order for them to do that, they would have to have an economy similar to the United States. It would have to be financialized, and they're not going to do that. So, and no developing country is going to want to do that, because in order to develop your industry, you need to invest in real, tangible infrastructure. You have to make things. In these countries, many of the countries in the world are still developing, so it's not going to happen.
So, what is the future then?
I mean, the future is the dollar is going to continue to decline. Over time, people are, these countries are already doing bilateral trades in their own currencies. That's going to continue.
Yeah, we talked about that.
And over time, the dollar will be used less and less in trade.
But does this still exist? The way it does, the way we consume the way Vietnam's I don't know, 30% of their exports go to America, or Philippines. Was it Philippines is 80% or whatever? Are these countries going to continue to build their economy on us consuming their shit?
No. I mean that we'll still be, as long as we got people and consumers, and we're going to be one of the larger countries.
So does that put us in a fail-proof position, or all these countries are just going to keep buying treasury bonds say they'll keep
No,
giving
not
us
necessarily.
money to keep buying.
I mean, this
shit.
is why it's important. This is why we should be. I mean, I think we should reindustrialize. America needs to, frankly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things we should be making. We should be investing in sustainable energies. We need to rebuild our infrastructure and bridges, ports, airports, etc. All that needs to happen. That money should be used to produce, to build up America's productive capacity. That's what we should be doing. Over time, if we don't do that, then we're going to have a failing economy. People are going to continue to be squeezed. Well, we're going to see austerity.
But at the same time, by not doing that, we make ourselves too big to fail. It's like with Lehman Brothers and
we don't
all
make
those,
ourselves too big
those
to fail.
banks.
These
they
countries
knew
are,
they were going to get
these
bailed
countries
out.
are already diversifying, and they're already doing trade with it. There are
That's
going to
what
be
I'm saying.
emerging
Can
markets.
they diversify enough?
Yes,
to
it's already happening.
replace
That's the point
us?
I'm making, and this is why America's freaking out, because we understand the world is changing. There are emerging markets. Countries are becoming wealthier. There's burgeoning middle classes in other countries that are going to be able to buy products from China and Indonesia and Brazil and etc. So we're going to become less of a consumer base. We already are.
So even though there's not going to be like a Brazil or India that fills our place, there'll be enough, I don't know,
Trade between all these
spread
other
out
countries, yes.
markets to take that.
Yes.
And they won't have to do what we did.
Yeah. I mean, this
Deindustrialize.
is the idea of the BRICS.
But what is that like? I know it's long term, but like what's long term?
Decades.
20 years, 30 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of that.
But in the meantime, they prop us up on life support.
I mean, it's not about yes and no. I mean, I don't think it's about propping. I mean, again, this is a process.
That's what I
Nobody
mean.
wants to destabilize the entire global economy.
That's why he's making his move now, because of the leverage will not be better.
And it's not it's the American ruling class.
Yeah, I know.
Just to be clear, I mean,
For
I know
sure,
you
it's definitely the
understand
oligarchy.
that.
Yeah.
Because this is something that the ruling class understands, is that they are losing their financial empire essentially. And this is the tariffs. This is not a unique Trump policy.
No.
Of course, Biden kept the tariffs that Trump did in his first term.
Yeah, like the steel tariffs and stuff. But even that was targeted.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously Trump is, doing a 10% tariff on the whole world. And
Again, that's some weird mercantilism shit. But
it was pretty wild. But the idea is the same. It was what I'm saying. It derives from the same understanding.
Yes and no. But like, it's not really. If you're blanketed doing a whole country, then you can't target your own industry best to help prop it up.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good strategy. I'm just saying that the reason they're doing
behind
it.
Yes.
Is to try
the selling point or whatever.
Yes. It's to try to figure out a way to rejigger the global economy in a way that stops or the decline of America's financial influence over global markets. And I don't think it's going to work, but they don't have a whole lot of other options.
I know, but that's what I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look at not only. That's why I keep saying they have to prop us up, because I'm trying to. What is the rest of the world's other options? They don't really have any. What we're doing exactly what I would expect us to do. If the Democrats got elected, they would be doing this like a light version of this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's not even like a. Are people or countries, whatever, making the right decision? I feel like everyone things are just playing out. Like, this is the tangled web we've caught ourselves in as the world, and this is just how it's going to play out, and everybody knows it. And we're just kind of like, time scale is kind of like what we're fucking figuring out now. How fast do we make this? If you're a radical left wing accelerationist, you want to do it fast. You want to keep doing Trump shit. Turn it up.
Yeah, I mean, what Trump is doing is definitely, accelerating the process, I think, because these countries are realizing, okay, like, we can't continue to to keep our eggs in the American basket.
Mm-hmm.
They're not reliable trade partners. We just, we don't know what to expect from them.
Which is the reason, like not the reason, but one of the things that allowed the U.S. dollar to become what it is we were steady and reliable consumers of the world, and like we were predictable, whether or not you like it. I don't know. I guess maybe Iraq and shit was not predictable, but was it? I don't know. It kind of was. Libya was kind of predictable.
Yeah, but that had less to do with. I mean,
but the world knew what to expect from us. Trump is unpredictable. They don't know what to expect.
Well, again,
markets don't know how to deal with that. That's why they make these other side deals to try to hedge their bets.
Yeah, but again, it's not even Trump anymore. I mean, again, just want to like to reemphasize this is an American ruling class thing.
The power is flowing through him, though,
at the moment. But again,
what was this question? Started, what do you think happens if he dies? Because I don't think the MAGA movement, whatever, unites behind another person.
No, probably not.
How does that play out? I guess Democrats get power and go back to neoliberalism.
I don't know. But just to kind of reiterate here, this really accelerated this process, this de-dollarization process, if you want to call it that, the BRICS. At the beginning of the Russian-Ukraine war, proxy war, and this was under the Biden administration, when the United States confiscated the Russian central bank reserves.
Part of the sanctions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the sanctions too, but they just took their reserves from their central bank. They froze them, so they couldn't use them.
I thought, isn't that what sanctions are sometimes?
Sanctions
on Iran and froze their money. I know we've done that too before.
Yeah, but sanctions are just like blocking
trade deals,
and business.
I got you.
Yeah, so
we took their money.
Yeah, we basically just said you can't use the money in your central bank, which was like $300 billion. I think it was mostly euros, actually. So that was like a wake up call to the rest of the world. Like, they'll like. Obviously, we had done it to smaller countries, Iran, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, etc. But these other countries seeing us do it to, I guess, Russia was like, okay, they'll do it to a large economy that's doing, trade with their partners.
The other global power, yeah.
Yeah. So nobody's safe. And that was under the Biden administration. So basically, we've been slowly
moving this way
over time because of the way that we've been weaponizing our currency to try to bend countries to whatever our political will is at that moment. And since 2022, obviously that's accelerated. Trump started with the trade war with China, and then Biden comes in, puts sanctions on Russia and freezes their assets. Trump comes back into power. So again, I just like to make sure people understand that
it's not one man.
No, it's not. This is part of the American empire trying to cling on as long as it can. But oddly enough, it's kind of backfiring because it's causing these other countries to like look for alternatives.
Well, I would say that is the one difference between Biden and Trump. Is Biden and the neoliberals were like, we're doing this a traditional way. We're not doing this mercantilism, let's hoard the gold shit that Trump's doing, because that would make all these other countries do exactly what they're doing. We don't want them to do that. So yeah, we'll freeze Russia's assets, blame it on the proxy war. But I don't think Biden would do this blanket tariff shit. I don't think the Democrats would even propose some shit like this.
No, I doubt it.
This is different. And I do genuinely believe whoever's in his ear, because you go back to the videos of him in the 80s and shit, is always talking about Chinese, how they manipulate things. And he's thinking like that because he's thinking, China, they export more than they import. We need to be like that. They keep their dollar low so they can sell shit. We need to do that. I think that's different, and it is accelerating things.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's different and it's not. It's different. It's a different strategy, but the goals are the same, and the
Yes.
ideology isn't that different. Is what I'm saying.
Well, is Biden doing that the same as trying to bring manufacturing back,
Yeah,
reindustrializing America?
yeah, and again, he kept all the sanctions. I mean, that was basically what the IRA was.
I thought they were punishment sanctions for Ukraine.
I mean, the tariffs rather on China.
Oh, terrible.
He expanded
Yeah,
the
yeah,
tariffs.
that definitely was. Yeah. Interesting. All right, but yeah, that's all I got. We're right
Cool.
at hour 15 minutes. That's pretty good. Any final thoughts? Any last thing you want to throw out there? Any book recommendations?
Nah, I haven't really read anything recently. But it was Frantz Fanon's birthday. I need to read his book that I started it a couple times and
Is that the
got
pedagogy?
distracted. No, that's Paulo
Freire.
Yeah.
Frantz Fanon, what is he?
He was like a psychologist or psychiatrist
what was the
from
book?
Martinique, Wretched of the Earth.
Wretched of the Earth. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was his 100th birthday that just passed.
Hell yeah. I'm assuming he's dead.
Yeah.
Long live Franz.
Yeah, he died young. He was like in his 30s when he died.
Damn. Revolutionary shit.
Well, he had cancer.
Goddamn cancer. Cancer is known colonialist. We all know that shit.
But
Colonizes your body.
He wrote a lot about he was in Algeria during the revolution when they ousted the French colonialists.
And that's where some of the Panthers ended up, right?
Yeah, it was. So shout out to him. It was just his birthday. Go
Oh, yeah. Happy
read
birthday, bro.
Wretched of the Earth. Do better than me.
Yes.
AOC is trash. I wanted to mention that for that vote. To I guess Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Wanted to defund money for the Iron Dome. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think it was just a block.
Block funds to the Iron Dome.
Just military.
And I don't know if
aid.
you know this. AOC has never voted to give them offensive weapons. She only blocked the defunding of the Iron Dome so they can protect themselves because AOC believes in stand your ground. I don't know if you know this. She's a big Zimmerman guy.
Yeah. This is terrible.
She's awful.
What else did I want to mention?
Mamdani?
I didn't really have anything about Mamdani.
I mean, it's Stephen Colbert.
Oh yeah.
Real quick. What do you know about
gone.
this? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I don't really know much about it. I mean, I know people are saying that the Trump or the new head of CBS is like a Trump guy or something, and that's why they think
Oh, is it?
they got rid of the Colbert Show. I don't really know. I didn't watch Colbert. I don't really care.
It wasn't great.
Nah, I mean, I would watch it every now and then.
It's fine.
You know, if my parents, sometimes I have it on, but as soon as he got the gig on CBS, he became like, just, boring.
Essentially,
stupid
when he's not
jokes.
playing his character.
Yeah, man, Colbert
Yeah.
Report was funny,
Yeah. That was great.
but like
We could use that, man.
yeah,
He would have a fucking field day today.
that was great satire.
That's what satire is, right wingers. I know you don't understand this word. But yeah, I don't know. I think part of it is political, for sure. I think he for some reason, I don't even know what it was that got under Trump's skin. But I guess he poked at him a lot. And part of it also is the settlement. So, he'd been suing these fuckers, right? So he sued CBS because they interviewed Kamala and edited it in a way that made her look good or something. I'm not sure what it was. But anyways, they settled. All of these news organizations have settled instead of they shouldn't try and fight it, which is essentially like it's just cheaper. Like just pay. It's almost like just pay your tax or your tithes to the fucking king, bend the knee. And I think part of it was there's a merger deal, something with CBS that he can stop. And I think part of the agreement was you guys pay the settlement, I'll approve the merger, you get rid of Colbert. That's what Jon Stewart thinks, apparently.
Oh, that sounds plausible.
I mean, he's doing it to the universities too.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Columbia and Harvard.
Exactly. Doesn't sound crazy to me. That sounds like something that could definitely
Plausible.
be going on.
But
So,
yeah, I don't really care. I don't watch no late night anymore. Conan's gone. That was the last good late night show.
yeah.
He's got a good show on HBO.
They're not funny, man.
They're not.
They're really. Conan was funny. Who was?
Letterman was funny sometimes.
Yeah, I never really cared for Letterman.
Yeah, there's
either.
moments.
I kind of. Who was it?
Craig Ferguson.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say.
Yeah.
He is kind of funny. The
His
late show or some shit.
Yeah. I would watch. Sometimes I would watch his clips on YouTube, and they're pretty good. Because he would, he did that little thing where he would tear up his card, and he would just like riff and do the freestyle. And he was pretty good
Improv,
at that, like improv. Yeah. Yeah, but that was pretty much it. Seth Meyers is okay, I'm saying Seth Meyers because I think his politics are actually good. He was like the only person I would have.
He makes good political jokes, but like his shit is just not. It's boring almost too.
Yeah, I don't watch any of it, but the reason I wanted to give him credit is because like he would have Bernie on sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
When nobody else was like really having
Early
Bernie
on.
on. Yeah, early on. And his other writer, Amber, I forget her name, but she's actually really good too. I just get the sense that he actually has good politics. It's probably why he's on the, late.
Yeah, where he's at.
Where he's at.
I mean, I can tell by his jokes, like
Yeah.
just the angles he takes.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty crazy. But yeah, that's it. One last thing. I want to recommend a movie. HBO Max. I'm gonna keep saying it. Wait, is it HBO Max or did they?
Yeah,
it's back to HBO Max.
back to
HBO Max.
In fact, I was talking to my Google, and it was Max, and I was like, because sometimes I'll tell it to launch an app on my TV.
Yeah.
And he was like, we don't recognize that app. I was like, oh, that's right. They fucking changed the name again.
Fucking hate capitalism so much. So go on HBO Max though and watch Superman Red Sun. You ever heard of this?
No.
It's a cartoon. This is DC. I've been watching a lot of them actually recently, but this one specifically. What if Superman landed in Soviet Russia instead of Kansas?
That's awesome. I love it already.
Bro, it's good. I've only watched the first half, but I don't want to spoil it, but there's good criticisms. I expected it to be easy American propaganda. They're just going to flip shit and make us look good. It's not just that. It's a little nuanced. And then Soviet Batman shows up about halfway through, and that's where I had to stop. So I got to go back and finish it.
That's an interesting
Dude, it's pretty good, dude.
show. Who thought of that?
Dude, these DC movies, like all of them are like, let's take the 5 Justice League people and like just like put them in a different. I watched one is Batman versus Yakuza or something, and it's like, what if there's an alternate reality where Japan is floating in the sky and all those Justice League people like Superman, Wonder Woman are like Yakuza warlords. It's fucking dope. But all their little movies are like that. They just like, let's just what if the Flash was like this? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. But that's what this one. What if fucking Superman was a Soviet instead of the fucking American way? What if he's all about for the comrades and for the people?
Hell yeah, Soviet Superman.
Soviet Superman. Go watch that shit.
That's dope.
All right, holla. Oh yeah. Comrade Villain, Power to the People, new song. I just released that. It's good. Go listen to it. Got a lot of new shit coming out. A lot more revolutionary. All right, y'all.
Nonviolence in the middle of the most violent society that history's ever created. I'm not committed to nonviolence in any way.
The Republican Party and the Democratic Party are beholden to the interests of monopoly capitalism in this country.
The capitalist European and North American powers have carved out and taken the timber, the flax, the hemp, the cocoa, the rum, the tin, the cotton, the iron, the rubber, the bauxite, the slaves, and the cheap labor. They have taken out of these countries. These countries are not underdeveloped, they're overexploited.
The liberals are, at times, allies. At times, they're unreliable allies. So I don't want to just whitewash them. You've got to proceed quite cautiously with liberals.
The man or woman who knows the least about communism is the man or woman who wants to know the least about communism. That is to say, snakes are my enemies. They come to bite me, and I don't even want to know what they look like.